Knowing this near universal pattern helps to assess new brands and existing ones.
What don't marketers know?
Quite a lot, don't we?
I actually live in an anything-goes world where the latest fashion or fad drives an awful lot of practice.
Segmentation is the recognition you can't serve everyone with equal satisfaction.
This is the Zac Anesbury Show.
Welcome. On today's podcast clip, we have Associate Professor Müller from Northwest University, South Africa. So I've spent heaps of time with you already, so I really very much appreciate everything. I have a couple more questions, if that is okay.
Yes.
You might have a favorite marketing book that you'd want to recommend to people. Anything that comes to mind?
I think when it comes to marketing, there's a few, but if I can highlight two, the one that sparked my interest, Consumer Behavior by Schiffman and Knupp. I think there's been several versions thereof. We still use it in our consumer behavior courses. And then, as I mentioned earlier, David Arca is the father of branding. He wrote a book, I think in the early 90s, Building Strong Brands. I absolutely love that book, and I think it was altering for brand management and how we look at and measure brand management, or not brand management, brand equity, and how we approach brand management.
Yeah, you're right. They certainly gigantic shoulders we all stand on with their names, that's for sure. So you've got a really cool perspective in terms of you work with undergraduate and postgraduates, students you've had before. You've also had masters and PhD students when they're higher degree by research kind of candidates, and you also then work with those final year students and local entrepreneurs with and businesses. What advice would you give to people who are looking to get entry-level roles, whether it be in academia, so your masters and PhD students, about how to get into, I guess maybe it could be context specific for you in South African universities, or get their first entry-level marketing role if they were looking to go out into industry? What would your advice be to them?
One of the things I always tell my final year marketing students is to start searching for graduate programs. Because one of the biggest challenges when you start your first job is you look at the requirements, X number of years experience. And coming from university, you really don't have that. So graduate programs is the way to go. And usually students start searching for that too late. Yes. Most graduate programs in South Africa close August, September. So if you want to move into a graduate program after you graduate, you need to apply for it in the middle of your final year already. So graduate programs, definitely the way to go. And I always tell people also to go the extra mile. Search for that vacation job. Even if it's a waiter job, that's going to show an employee or an employer later on that you've got people skills. Go the extra mile in terms of upskilling yourself. Don't just do the degree work. Go to Google Garage or Udemy or whatever. Upskill yourself as far as you can. That also shows a different level of your perseverance and go-getter style, which is going to count towards your success.
Yeah, absolutely. Would those same skills be for someone looking to enter the academic world as well?
Yes, especially with the upskilling. Upskilling yourself in terms of statistics. Go and search for ways to help lecturers. Volunteer to be a student assistant. I think it boils down to go the extra mile.
Yeah, I reckon that's it. Go the extra mile. Someone should put that on a t-shirt. I reckon that sounds pretty good. So the question that I like to finish all of these sort of podcast interviews with, and before we head off, I just wanted to say thank you. I've really, really enjoyed chatting with you, and I've learned so much, not just about you, but all aspects of university life and marketing life in South Africa. It's a real crash course for me, so I'm sure it will be for a lot of people as well. But the thing that I like to finish on is there any sort of life advice that you'd want to pass on? Maybe something that you've learned over the journey or something you try to live by? Is there anything that you'd like to sort of share with the listeners?
That's also one of those questions that is difficult to answer just in one sentence. But I think something that I tend to live by is happiness is a choice. You decide whether you are going to be happy or not. There's a quote from, I think it was Henry Ford, that said, whether you think you can or when you think you can't, you're right. So the way you look at stuff is going to determine so much in your life. So happiness is a choice. Make that choice. Decide to be happy. If there's a challenge in front of you, are you going to sulk about the challenge, or are you going to be excited about the challenge? Make the choice to be happy about it.
Absolutely love it. Happiness is a choice. Sounds perfect. Awesome. Yeah. So thank you so much for your morning, for spending your morning with us early on. I've very much enjoyed every moment of it, and appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Zac. It was fun. I can't wait to come to Assoc again, and I'll bring you some South African wine along.
Oh, I would be honored. I would love it. Perfect. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Hi everyone, Zac here again, and just a few quick reminders before you go. If you're listening to the podcast and are considering incorporating it into your secondary school or university courses, then please let me know and I can guide you through the process. If you're enjoying the show and getting some insights from it, then please leave me a 5-star review on your podcast listening platform. It would go a long way to spreading the word. If you know someone who would benefit from this content, then I would be thrilled if you could consider sharing this episode and its knowledge with them. And finally, thank you for becoming part of the community for this show.